So recently, BnS Neo actually launched on Steam, and as you can see here, it wasn't really received well. Now, this was something that a lot of people were kind of predicting to happen with how poor the state of the game is right now. But honestly, to see the Steam release was quite sad to see because the player base even going onto Steam was not good at all. Like if we look at the Steam charts right here, we just see that the all-time peak was 800. Now I don't think this is entirely accurate because I do remember seeing over 1,000 players. The peak I saw was 1,500. I don't know why that's not recorded correctly, but even 1,500 players for a newly launched Steam game is pretty horrendous. And you have to keep in mind, like a lot of players transferred from Purple over to Steam. So even though there's over 1,000 players on Steam at that time for the launch, a lot of them weren't even new players because a lot of them were people like myself and many clan members, friends, people who don't like the Purple launcher because honestly it sucks and it's really slow to start up. They switched over to Steam, so those are people counting for the player base on Steam. And really at this point it's completely dead. Now this is saying 32 and that's because they are having a maintenance, but even for like the 24-hour peak, even for daily, it's only at 500 players, 600 players max for like a daily on Steam for North America. So like this is really bad to see. This is essentially a dead game. And again, those are not all just like Steam exclusive players. And then there's a Purple launcher. Like people are playing on Steam from the Purple launcher that they got rid of. It's not the same case of where like Black Desert, where they have their own client and then they have Steam. Those are separate players. Like all the Steam players for Black Desert, they're like 15,000. There's other players who play on the client only because you can't transfer from the client to Steam, and that's probably another 10 to 15,000 players, if not more or less, as a rough guess. So like this is completely different. Where like literally these like 500 to 1,000 players are probably the same players that were on the Purple launcher that just transferred over to Steam. So this is completely a dead game at this point. There's really nothing more to say. And it is sad to see the state of Neo. And really, the community has spoken. Like, this is the truth right here. Mostly negative. I haven't seen such a negative reaction to an MMO launch on Steam, like, ever. Even games like Lost Ark or even Black Desert, who have, like, a mixed rating, I've never seen mostly negative for really many games on Steam ever. Like, almost all of them are at least, like, mixed at the lowest. Like, this is insane. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the reviews and see what people have been talking about it because it is quite insane to see how badly and poorly received this game was. So if we go right here, we have a bunch of reviews of negative, like crazy. So one of the ones that got a lot of reception right here was BnS Neo greedy and mismanaged dumpster fire. Basically, they just gave a really good explanation of how the game's running. They talked about how the combat and visuals are very nice. But they said it's like putting lipstick on a pig, which is crazy. Basically just saying how atrocious and terrible this game is. Like the reviews are insane for this game. Like everyone's pissed off about it. And I really can't blame them. Like there's not much positive in the game. Like I actually think they would get a better reception if they just put Blade & Soul live on Steam. It would actually be received better because currently it has better events right now, like the Call to Arms event, which gears you up pretty quickly. Way better than Neo does. Like, I actually think funny enough, with how dead the player base on Blade & Soul Live, it'd be better received than Neo, which is crazy to think about. So that's really the case. That's really the video. I just wanted to kind of highlight how it did on Steam. But, you know, I was being generous. I thought it'd get maybe, you know, like a couple thousand players for the Steam launch just because of the hype and it being on Steam. But they really fumbled that because they didn't even give a good update for the Steam. Like, imagine if they launched it on Steam with the Warlock update, with an actual good event, not an event where you just log in and they give you rewards every day. That's not even an event. It's really lackluster. But an actual fun event, good rewards, a new class, then we could be talking and not have separate servers, have the current servers we have right now. You know, like actually there could have been a little bit more of a good player base entering the game, but they just released it with like no new content. They just released it on the patch we have right now, where it's just like the Twisted Labyrinth dungeon that literally 99% of the player base can't even do. So of course there's going to be no type of hype for the game at all. But I don't know, at this point is again not really much to say. Blade & Soul Neo is dead. Like this is the facts right here. You really can't hide it. Like even if you want to give the benefit of the doubt, like there's some players who like love Blade & Soul Purple, which I don't even know what type of mindset you have to think Purple's a good launcher. But maybe, okay, maybe you're too lazy to switch from Purple to Steam through your account. I'll give you that. maybe there's an extra 100, 200 players just on purple still. But on Steam, 500 to 700 players. I mean, BnS Neo is definitely under 1,000 players for NA. Like, it is a dead MMO, and it's only been out for a few months now, since February. So I really don't even know if this game will last to the end of the year. I guess maybe they'll keep it on maintenance mode because BnS Live is still live almost 10 years later, and it's quite low on player base too. And I don't think they would close Neo just on the fact that if they did, it would look bad, because it's like you just launched this game this year and then they end service. That would be crazy. So they probably will keep it live in like a vegetative state where it's just literally just dead. But this is just confirmation the game's dead.